They aren't clones, they aren't lookalikes, they aren't reincarnated. They're vampires. Literal vampires. And I'm going to show you. You see, I've spent the past 2 years not just speculating, but proving that the people we think die young on the TV and in the music industry don't. They just change their roles and fake their deaths. And like I said, this isn't speculation. I've proven it with tons and tons of facial markings and scars and things that are too coincidental. Too coincidental to not just be the same person. Hugh Jackman was country star Keith Whitley, who died at 33 years old. And when I first started doing this, the age gaps weren't that big of a deal because they weren't that big. But recently, there have been some very large age gaps. Like with Dale Earnhardt, who died hitting a wall, turned into Morgan Wall in. And this isn't speculation. You can literally see the exact same scar right there and right there. Yeah, they did some work on it, but you can't miss that. You see, Morgan is 32, and Dale, if he was still alive, would be 74. That's a large age gap. But like I said, they're not people, they're vampires. Fallen angel vampires who consume blood to keep their youthful appearance, and not just keep it, but literally age reduce. Here's Robert Johnson, who died in the 40s, and Denzel Washington. El. Do you know what El is? You know, like Elohim, the sons of God, otherwise known as angels, and there are literal fallen angels here, and most angels have the name El attached. Michael, Gabriel, Azazel, Denzel, Elon, who just shares the exact symmetry and birthmarks as the first Rocket Man, known as Werner von Braun. The exact same markings. Kind of like that matches that. And that matches that. And that big old scar seems to match a scar that, again, they try to fill in. So you're not as aware as they want you to be. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again, they tried to remove the moles. Elon and Werner. Let's take a look at the most wicked man to ever live, Aleister Crowley, Alistair, and Joe Rogan. Their noses seem to be, exact, and so does Alistair's little scar there that, again, they tried to fill in. So you wouldn't be the wiser. I found the exact same markings on them. Robert Johnson, who would literally be 114 years old if he were still alive. Robert Johnson, who is literally known as someone who said he sold his soul to get good at music. And like I said in the beginning, they're not clones, they're not replicas, they're not lookalikes. They're the same undying vampires. Fallen angel, undying vampires. It's why they fake their deaths. Because if you saw them not aging or age reducing, you would think something was up. You would know something was up. And they tell us how they do it in the movies. They put it right under our nose. Do you know how Tom Cruise went from old and decrepit looking in Interview with a Vampire to this? I'll give you a clue. Now, I'm not going to say this out loud, but I'm going to have you follow along. A concept mirrored in recent studies that show factors in can rejuvenate aging tissue in real life. Oh, and you know what else they put in movies? Faking death to escape suspicion. Modern vampire fiction and role playing games frequently feature vampires faking their deaths or disappearing to avoid suspicion in stories. A vampire's life cycle typically involves living under a human identity until their physical agelessness becomes obvious to their friends and family. And then they stage their deaths. And you know how I keep saying they tell us? Well, there's a certain type of this that's called A113. It rhymes with a Shmrina brome. A Shmrina brome. Now watch what they put in their movies. Remember, I said a certain type of this is A113. They tell us. They have to. It's kind of like a vampire in the movies. They have to invite you in. Yeah, they have to tell you because they can impact your free will. They need to deceive you and fool you. It's just universal law because we all have free will and they can't impact it. They just convince you otherwise. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think they're a bunch of fallen angel vampires running around. This is John Wayne Gacy and Garth Brooks. You know, John Wayne Gacy, the mass murderer who had a bunch of children under his basement. Entertainment only, people. This one should have gone in my subscribers area, probably. It might still. I think it is. I did this for the public, guys, but I literally just decided this second that this has to be for you guys because this might get me actually taken down and banned. So I'm going to give this to you, my beautiful friends, my beautiful subscribers. And yes, I have found all of them perfectly well and alive and age reduced and younger. And yep. Tim Dillon, Luke Combs, the dude, I can't think of his name, Bane, the guy that plays Bane, Ariana Grande, what's his name? It's fading me. Andy Warhol, Scott is a YouTuber. Scott Dyke, Bradley Cooper, the new Superman. And he's the dude from Sons of Anarchy. Introduce a little anarchy.